Hey folks, Dauphin Dale here. I'm bringing you a little bit of a different video today. I know it's usually about music, but this is Madden week. I'm ready for some football. And for those of us who did the early bird, I've been playing the new Madden since about Tuesday. And then, of course, the main game drops today. And for all those who didn't pre-order or didn't get the nicer packages, they had like 3 different levels. So I thought what I would do is make a video to show all of the football video games that I still have in my collection. It used to be that I would trade everything off, but then I started realizing they're really not giving much money for older consoles and the games. So why trade them off for a couple bucks off? So I still have an old PlayStation, PS1, I guess, and I have an old Xbox, and of course the console I use now is my PS4. So I'm not a big gamer. I do love my Madden though, and I would say that probably 99% of the time if I'm playing a video game, it is Madden. That doesn't mean I'm great at it. It just means I love football. And so take that as you will. Anyway, let's start looking at some of these old video games. And the oldest game I've got, well, except for this one that I'm going to save for last. The oldest game I've got is Madden 98. Back when they just put John Madden, dumpy old John Madden, on the cover. And I don't know how well these pictures will show, but it's very different from the games we have today. Very pixelated, blocky. But for the time, they were wonderful. Then the next one I've got's Madden 2000. Still just dumpy old John Madden on the cover. And look at these pictures on the back, though. Look at that. Is this Doug Flutie? Look at how elongated that 7 is on his chest. And then this Dolphin lineman flying at him like Superman. Guess this is Jerome Bettis. Madden 2000. The next one is that I'm going to show will break the hearts of every Dolphin watching. 2002 with Dante Culpepper. Yeah, he had a good year or two, and then he had that knee injury. Then he came to us. Do you remember? Does anyone even remember Dante Culpepper as a Dolphin? I do, because we were looking at Drew Brees at the same time. And I keep thinking, man, if we'd gotten Drew Brees instead of Dante Culpepper. Just not fair. But there's some pictures from the back of that. All right, so in the early 2000s, I guess I tried some other ones. You would think I would have Madden 2003 in here because, I don't know, did I trade it away or something? I don't know why I've got every other one, it seems like. But 2003 was the year that I actually started the season on injured reserve. I did. So how did I get on injured reserve from a video game? Well, it wasn't from the video game. My retina had tore. That was the year my retina tore, which is why I really don't see out of my left eye now. But yeah, so in the process of getting to a physician, don't go to a general doctor if you ever have a vision problem, because they'll say, come on in, and they'll take your copay, but then they're going to tell you, oh, well, we don't really have the equipment to see what's wrong with your eye. You'll have to go to an optometrist. Just go straight to the optometrist. So anyway, while I'm waiting for appointments back and forth, Madden came out. And that was the year Marshall Faulk was on the cover. And so it came out about midweek. I think I was saving it for the weekend. I was going to have a big Madden marathon, I guess. And that Friday, I went to the doctor, and he figured out my retina. Well, they knew my retina was tore right away. The physician couldn't figure it out, but the eye doctors knew right away. They dilated my eyes, and because I got sent from my optometrist to another specialist, there were some complications with my detached retina that I won't get into here. But yeah, so the doctor told me when we got to the end of that visit, he was like, "Yeah, I don't want you doing anything physical, because your retina's detached. I don't want you even reading." And I said, "What about Madden?" And he was like, "What?" I said, "The new Madden just came out. I want to play Madden." And he was like, No, don't want you doing anything where you're going to be tracking something with your eyes really closely. Go home and watch movies." So I had a James Bond marathon, and it was all right. It was early Sean Connery, and I hadn't seen him, and it was good. But yeah, I was a little frustrated. So anyway, so there were some other games that came out. Anybody remember NFL Blitz? Michael Strahan on the cover there. Don't remember playing it a lot. I gave it a try. That was in 2003. Here we got ESPN 2K5 with Terrell Owens on the front. And I don't know why anybody would want to put Terrell Owens on the front of anything. Yeah, I know he put up good numbers. Heck of an athlete. But I can't stand divas. Cover your kids' ears just for a second. Back when I used to post on football message boards, I couldn't stand him. I always called him Turd Orifice. T.O. There, you want to be a diva? You want to be called something special? And I think he was always correcting people on how to say Terrell or whatever. But, yeah, you're Turd Orifice to me. Then we got head coach. Anybody remember that? I didn't really get into this game too much either. Gave it a try. Then, well, did I skip around or something? Because that was 2K5. Well, here's Madden 2004. Another guy I don't really care for. And not just about back then it was about the dogs, because I'm an animal lover. I thought what he did with the dog fighting was terrible. But for philosophy wise, as far as football goes, I've never been crazy. I didn't care for I'm just not crazy about running quarterbacks. And I know some people think I'm just hating on guys with a lot of athleticism, but I'm not. I just believe that if you're going to play quarterback, you have to be a consistent thrower. I don't care if you can run with that, but if you can't consistently beat defenses with your arm, then you don't need to be playing quarterback. At some point, somebody's going to play disciplined defense. They're going to shut down your running, and you're going to have to make some second and long, third and long throws, and they're going to know you're throwing, and you've got to be able to beat them. And I don't think Stewart or Vic consistently could get the balls down the field to move the chains. If you had to, I mean, if you were going to be honest, if you're down by a touchdown and you know you're going to have to dink and dunk your way down the field, do you really want Michael Vick as your quarterback? I mean, he can make that one or two spectacular throws, but he's not going to consistently get you down the field, not with his arm. And I'll talk a little bit more about that later because of somebody else who's going to appear in this video. But then we got Sean Alexander, cover of Madden 07, and it's starting to look better. Look at that on the back. Also got Vince Young. When I first look at Titan quarterback, so this is Madden 08, I always want to say Steve McNair, but no, this is Vince Young. Some better graphics. So those are all my Xbox football games that I still have left. So let's look at these. Now we're to the PS4. I didn't have this one when it first came out. I just picked it up. It was $3. I thought it might have some cool stuff on it because it was a special anniversary edition. So you got Adrian Peterson there of the Vikings. Now here's where it gets really bad for me as far as player selection for these covers. I could have puked about 3 years in a row. Yeah, we got to start putting Cheatriots on the front. Rob Gronkowski, he irks me. Probably because he's a Patriot. If he played for somebody else, I might not pay as much attention to him. But, yeah, I just can't stand Cheatriots. There's some pictures on the back. Looking pretty good. But man, Tom Shady, and you want to talk about being irked. There he is on the front of the GOAT edition. Greatest of all time? Are you kidding? He's not even the greatest of his own era. I'd take Drew Brees over him any day of the week. I'd take Peyton Manning over him. GOAT? Are you kidding me? And then this was the year they gave you a selection of 5 different GOATs. Here they are. I, of course, took Barry Sanders. The only one, and I'm not thinking like a video game guy. I'm thinking like a football loyalist. I took Barry Sanders. Love him. He's one of my favorite non-Dolphin players. Love to watch him run. The other guy I thought about taking was Jerry Rice. Considered that, but decided to go with Barry. Yeah, the other guys, Tom Shady, not taking that cheater. Not taking Ray Lewis. Just he gets on my nerves too. And then Deion Sanders. I really like Deion Sanders' ability on a football field, but he can be tiresome as well. So, as an announcer, anyway. And then what do? We get away from the Patriots just to put Dirt Orphans back on the cover. Hall of Fame edition. He doesn't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. He is a cancer to any team he was on. I don't care what the numbers say. Give me somebody with less numbers and actually benefited their team. Can't stand this guy. Now, on the back, let's look on the back. We got Marino, greatest passer of all time. We got Urlacher, who's a little overrated just because he's taller than Zach Thomas. Zach Thomas is, look at the numbers. Zach Thomas is as good as he is. Then we got, we got T.O. Then Rod Woodson. Love Rod Woodson as a player. Great player. And then Terrell Davis. That's another case. All right, so Terrell doesn't have quite the numbers, but he was integral to 2 world championships for the Broncos. Look at his stats over those years, too. What was it? 2,500 yards in 2 seasons? Just phenomenal player. Deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Even with this shortened career. I'll take him. I would take players like him over Owens in a heartbeat. I don't like Ocho's. I don't like Ocho Stinkhole either. Oh, sorry. Then don't mind this kid. Glad to see him break the Madden curse and have a great year, win a championship. Patrick Mahomes. So much fun to watch. Reminds me of Brett Favre, who I enjoy immensely watching him play football. So, Can't say anything bad about this kid. I know a lot of people are freaking out because he signed that huge contract. But you know what? We don't even know how much of that contract he'll see. That'll probably be renegotiated time and time again. But like Patrick Mahomes a lot. I like this guy a lot, and you might be surprised. And of course, it's this year's cover dude, Lamar Jackson, from right here, play his college ball right down the street at U of L. I think there's a big difference between Lamar Jackson and Michael Vick. And you can see it in the stats. I saw a huge increase in his pass completion percentage from his rookie year to last year. And that tells me that he's improving as a passer. I've heard him talk about wanting to be able to get it done from the pocket. I hope he can continue to have that mindset and let his running complement his throwing, but be a passer first. And I think he can do it. And I'm rooting for him. I'm not particularly a big Ravens guy, but I just like Lamar. I think he is exciting to watch. And of course, he's a former Cardinal. It's hard not to like the guys that went to school here in Kentucky, and so I got to root for the former Wildcats and former Cardinals. Lamar being a former Cardinal, and of course we have a good Cardinal connection between the Dolphins and because Mark Clayton. Remember Mark Clayton, who was a superstar wide receiver back in the Dan Marino era. He played for U of L. Then one of my favorite defensive backs from the 90s, Sam Madison. He played for the Cardinals. And, of course, now we have Devontae Parker playing for the Dolphins. And I have a lot of hope. It's taken a long time for him to come along, but he had a big year last year, and I'm hoping that he'll have the same kind of year this year with and even bigger now that we have Tua at quarterback. So this came out a couple days ago. First, doesn't it look like a bootleg? And we don't even, it's not even color on the front. Looks kind of cheap compared to last year's. What's up with that? It felt like I was buying a bootleg. First thing I'll say about the game is that, yes, it's very similar to last year's. But I had wore last year's out playing all the stuff I needed, even if it's not much of an upgrade. And so far, I haven't seen anything that was outstanding, an outstanding improvement. I just needed a new game. So for that, I'm thankful. But now, let me tell you, if I could get a hold of the guy whoever was responsible for programming Tua on this thing, I'd like to get a hold of you and give you a wedgie and a swirly, because I started a franchise the other day and Tua had a dislocated hip, missed the first 5 games. What's up with that? That'd make me want to hurt somebody. Don't make me come up to wherever this is and like I said, you got a swirly and a wedgie coming. Let's pump the brakes. Forgot to talk. I got so excited talking about the new Madden that I forgot to talk about the greatest Madden game, or actually the greatest football game, and it wasn't a Madden. Talking Tecmo Super Bowl. This was the game, actually it was a predecessor to this game that got me hooked playing football games. I can remember being in college and going down on a Friday and renting it and staying up all night and playing it. And then, yeah, so this was the final version, Tecmo Super Bowl. I don't know if you can see any of those pictures. It was a late, well, what was it, a mid-80s or mid-90s game, 1996. So we've been about 24 years without the greatest game ever. I don't think I would have gone to Madden if it hadn't been for Tecmo. Tecmo, once they lost their license, had to go somewhere, so I went to Madden. So, but had a lot of great memories, fun times playing Tecmo Super Bowl. Man, if I could find an updated version, that would be so awesome. So, anyway, back to the rest of the video. Well, there you have it. That's my thoughts on the new Madden. Like I said, I'm not a big gamer, but I do enjoy my football games. So, thought I'd share that today. Hope you're having a good Friday and a wonderful weekend. And we will see you really soon, because I want to shoot a lot this weekend. So, take it easy. Peace.